I hate to add more work to your plate, but you may just have to update your best trilogies of all time list.
What now? What? Oh no! Oh no! No, 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 no. Okay.
War for the Planet of the Apes is the third movie in the Apes prequel franchise, including Rise and Dawn. Once again, we're following Caesar as he leads his group of apes against what remains of humanity. Is this movie just monkeying around, or is there something serious here? Let's take a look with 5 things you might want to know about War for the Planet of the Apes. Wow. Can that be my one-word review? Wow. Do you want a little bit more? Man, I cannot believe how much I love this movie. And even more than that, I cannot believe how much I love this franchise. It's pretty incredible to take this material and make it so powerful. This is an extremely powerful movie, and let's start with one of the reasons. His name is Andy Serkis, and he has done this 3 times in a row. His performance as Caesar is next level. And it's particularly amazing considering it's a CG performance, and yet you read it so well. The nuance, the emotion, the eyes, the facial, movements, the features. See, to me, that doesn't make his job easier. It makes it more difficult. It means he's more award worthy than somebody else who is acting without that. I feel like he is finding a way to act behind a mask of sorts and still pulling it off spectacularly. It's beautiful stuff. And with all the CG enhancement that's happening across movies of all kinds, I think we have to rectify that with our award system, and I think it's time for at least a nomination and maybe a win. So consider me on board and towards the front of the Andy Serkis for Best Actor train. But don't forget, it's not just him. There's great material here. These movies, the stories have been wonderful, and this movie's no different. So epic, so powerful. It feels biblical. In fact, there's direct correlations to many biblical stories in how this works, whether it be Moses or Joseph or others like that. I have to say, to see something this deep and this powerful done by apes is a really interesting experience. There's so much gravitas here. There's so much power with what's going on here with the themes about leadership and what it means to stand in front of a group of your peers and say, I'll be the one at the front. I'll be the one taking the slings and arrows. I'll be the one not only making the decisions, but taking the consequences. There's a real need for leadership like that in our lives, and I feel like this movie shows us what a leader can be, even though it's a monkey. But you know what else is amazing about this story? I love how intricately it's crafted. I love how we got here through the other 2 movies, understanding the depth of the tragedy that led to this and where we are now and what we're doing. And even the path through this movie of what this group of creatures is dealing with and going through as they come into this world that is now becoming theirs. It's really beautiful in the way that it takes you there. You know what it is? It understands how to tell a prequel story. Because we know the end, right? And you may think that takes away a lot of the suspense, those kind of things. But not if you understand what's important about this story. This story not only tells us what happened, it tells us why that happened, and most importantly, tells us why we should even care that it happened. And that is something that's worth holding on to because you understand the value in the story you're being told, not only to the characters that you see on screen, but the value that you can take into your own life afterwards. It's interesting we've gotten this far. I haven't talked about a single technical aspect of the movie. I think that's to the movie's credit because it's also seamless that you don't even notice it. I guess the one I would bring out are the visuals. What a gorgeous film. And specifically, let's talk about the monkey CG. It's gotten so much better. I recently watched the other 2. And in the first one, the CG is a little iffy. Everything looks like a fake monkey. In the second one, it looks like, oh, those are more kind of real creatures. And in this one, it's almost flawless in all sorts of light, in all sorts of conditions, in all sorts of movement. These creatures look real, and to put them in this real and gorgeous environment, I think is really striking. So is there a negative in War for the Planet of the Apes? No. Let's go with no. I will go with a caution. Let's go with a yellow on this, because I do think this might impact some people. Me, didn't really bother me that much. It's slower. The action is kind of put on the back burner a little bit for this more methodical, epic type storytelling. We're really dealing with character work here. We're really dealing with relationship work here. We're dealing with plot work here, all of which is seamless and keeps you moving along so you don't feel like you miss the action too much. And when the action hits, it's spectacular, but I'm just warning you, if all you're going to see the monkeys fight the humans, that only happens here and there. But the other stuff is so valuable, I don't think that you're going to miss it. Overall, I feel like War for the Planet of the Apes is another home run for this franchise, possibly the best of the three. I give it an A. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, if you want to connect, I'd love to do that. Just hit me up on Twitter, Aaron Dicer, AARONDICER. Lots of movie talk going on there. Also, lots of movie talk going on the podcast. That's SiftPop, SiftPop. You can search for it wherever you do your podcast thing. That's a weekly podcast we do about movies, television, all sorts of pop culture fun stuff. Hit me up on YouTube, give us a subscribe, comment in the comments. We have a lot of fun there as well. No trolls allowed. Just kidding. How can I keep them out? I guess I could... What can you mute them? I have no idea. Actually, I've never had trolls come to my site before. So if you're a troll, welcome. Stop being a troll. Whatever. Just come hang out on YouTube. And finally, thanks so much for your support at Patreon. Patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. People actually giving their hard-earned dollars to support this YouTube channel absolutely humbles me every time I think about it. So thank you for doing that. Again, that's patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. Some fun perks there as well. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge. This is where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to guess my choice based on a clue. Let's go with the best movie ever that's the third movie in a trilogy. The third movie in a trilogy, best movie ever. Personally, I'm not sure what your choice is, but as for my choice, I think I've chosen wisely. Thanks for taking a guess in the comments. First person to get it right does get a point in there, and leave your choice there too. As always, I'll give you a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click my face when it comes on screen.